Hello, and welcome to a Camelot Books unboxing. Well, really, it's a double shot of Charnel House books, but it is arriving courtesy of Camelot Books, who are wonderful booksellers down in Florida. I haven't purchased from them in a while, because I've been buying a lot of the books direct from the various publishers. But they have a lot of, they get a lot of new titles, but they also have a lot of older titles as well. But it's always a treat to buy from them. You get a ton of bubble wrap, or packing peanuts, and bubble wrap, and the books arrive actually wrapped. I'll show you this in a second. Look at that wrapping paper. It's like Christmas coming early, all times of the year. It's actually kind of fun, because, like, you know, if you buy around the holidays, you'll actually get Christmas wrapping paper. It's a nice little touch. So, Tony and Kim are phenomenal. They've actually published a couple books, too, back in the day. There they are. Beautiful. So, two books within this little wrapping paper. Both are Charnel House titles. One is not really an author that I collect, or really read for that matter, but they had it on Overstock for like 60% off, like cover price. And, you know, I figure it might not be a popular author, and it might not be a popular novel, but for 60% off, I'll buy it. Why not? That's a good Overstock price, in my opinion. Anyways, first up here is Forced Perspectives from Tim Powers. The next one is Your Heart Belongs to Me by Dean Koontz. Which, like I said, Dean Koontz isn't really a popular author in the small press community. A lot of people unfavorably compare him to Stephen King. But, you know, I've read a couple novels by him. I'm not a fan, but I don't mind him. Hey, 60% off. We'll check it out. Anyways, first up, let's dive into the second Vickery and Castine novel by Tim Powers. Forced Perspectives. Look at the stamping on that. So I actually have this. I'll explain in a second. This is the second of the Vickery and Castine titles. I purchased to get a matching number. Very beautiful, kind of, I think it's Japanese cloth that is bound in. But look at the stamping on the cover. It's been years, well, 4 years, I suppose, since I purchased the first one. So I figured I'd bring that one out for the unboxing as well. You know, I'll show that one off. This, my friends, is Alternate Routes, which was the first title. The third title, Stolen Skies, was published earlier this year. The first one actually came with a little letter just saying, hey, keep it in the little poly bag, the polyurethane bag, because of the gold stamping on the L. I imagine the same thing can probably be said of the stamping on the second title. But anyways, they both kind of have a very similar binding of the Japanese cloth. Gorgeous stamping on the front cover. And they both feature kind of, well, at least this one does, kind of nice black end papers. I mean, it's kind of plain, but there is kind of a little texture to them that it probably can't pick up on the camera. Little illustrations throughout by Tim Powers. This one features an Etch-a-Sketch, which actually carries into the chapter headings, which is pretty cool. But anyways, the first one, which I bought a couple years back due to a Tim Powers sale that they had, got me number 118. And so we'll put that one aside for now. With the recent announcement, Charnel House has always published Tim Powers. They actually started with The Stress of Her Regard 30 years ago. And they recently just announced that they are going to publish every Tim Powers novel that they haven't already published, starting with his very first novel, The Sky's Discrowned. And there's a lot that they haven't published, including some of his big ones, such as Anubis Gates, On Stranger Tides, Drawing of the Dark. So, I'm in. So I figured, I haven't read the Vickery Castine novels, of which this is the second one. But I figured I would try to get my matching number, and then I would continue to buy the titles that I am very interested in to get that matching number as well. So this should be a matching 118. This is Forced Perspectives. Vickery. There we go, 2020. This one's kind of got a little trippier text in it. Not really going with the Etch-a-Sketch. Hey, Bill Schaefer. That's the guy who is behind Subterranean Press, who's published a lot of other Tim Powers titles. So this one also features little illustrations by Powers throughout. Vickery is an ex-Secret Service agent, in alternate routes at least. I mean, well, he's still an ex-Secret Service agent, but in alternate routes he is a driver for a supernatural evasion service. There's supernatural forces, paranormal abnormalities on the highway system. And he teams up with Ingrid Castine, who works for the agency that is behind. Oh, look at that. It's kind of got like a little bleed, but I think that's intentional, though. I hope that's intentional. And so Vickery and Castine are investigating the forces behind these strange occurrences. The second novel features them kind of going against a Silicon Valley guru, millionaire, who wants to use them to summon some sort of old god, or maybe a new god. I'm not sure. There's matching number 118. Like I said, I haven't read these Vickery and Castine novels. But I presume, based on the stamping, that I should probably keep this one in the polyurethane bag as well, which I know is not ideal for book collectors, but they said that the rubbing against other books could kind of scrape the beautiful, beautiful stamping off. So, still need to pick up the third title, Stolen Skies. And then I'll have to pick up the slipcase as well, which Joe Stefko at Charnel House hasn't produced yet, but he's working on it. So, very excited for that. Anyways, let's check out the other title. So, very, very well made. And very excited to see Charnel House do the other Tim Powers titles. So, maybe less exciting. I feel bad, but it's a little bit less exciting than the Tim Powers title, is Your Heart Belongs to Me by Dean Koontz. I like the kind of quality here. It's very nice. Little conversational be mine heart on top. So the synopsis of this one is that the main character is on the verge of losing everything. He's losing his girlfriend. He's about to lose his life because he's got a heart condition. Oh, look at the paper quality, though. You can't really make out the texture there, but it's got a very nice grain pattern to the paper. I wonder if all the pages are like that. It's from 2009. Hey, and this book is dedicated to Tim and Serena Powers. There we go. There's a Tim Powers connection. So the man's about to lose it all. He's in need of a heart that could save his life. It is all using this paper. This paper is really nice. Like I said, you can't really make out the texture of it, but very, very nice. A jump cut to a couple years later, maybe it's a year later. He has had a heart transplant. His life is saved. Things are on the rope. Things are on the up and up. And he starts getting little weird packages in the mail, like boxes of chocolate, little conversational be mine hearts. And he starts encountering a woman who looks very similar to the one that gave him his heart. Which presumably means that the woman who gave him his heart is deceased. But then who is the woman who's giving him his goodies? I don't know. Dean Koontz, number 77. And then there's, a little, I guess, kind of supernatural thing going on there. So this is a numbered copy. Bound in green Miyabi Sumigi silk and slipcased in Asuka Ori cloth. I gotta say, is this Mohawk Strathmore Grandie paper? I really love the texture of it. It's gorgeous. It's not very soft paper or anything like the world doesn't end, but it's got a nice texture, nice little tactile feel to it. But anyways, I know Dean Koontz isn't the most popular author in the small press community or in the horror community or in the... he's very formulaic. But, for the price, you can't go wrong. And I don't have too many Charnel House books in my collection. So given the opportunity to purchase that for 60% off cover price, I was all for it. They might even have some more overstock ones on Camelot Books. But thank you very much to Kim and Tony, Camelot Books, for matching my number after all these years. Because, as I said, I had purchased alternate routes years back during a Tim Powers sale. It's like a buy one, get one free sale. But I love his secret history type of novels. And from what I understand, these Vickery and Castine's aren't very secret history novels. It's kind of off-brand for him. So I hadn't followed it up, especially because I was purchasing Suntup at the time. And would have been costly to get both. But hey, now with the recent announcement from Charnel House, I got to get on board. So thank you very much to Camelot Books, to Tim Powers for just continuing to pump out novel after novel, Charnel House for these beautiful publications. Can't wait to dive into them and then further add to my Tim Powers collection. And thank you for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing, and we'll see you around next time.